John out here with you. It is Friday, September 25th, 2020. How are all of you doing out there today? I apologize honestly and wholeheartedly if I mix some words around. It's been a long, long day. But I do have some news to share with you as far as PlayStation 5 pre-orders. I want to say again, thank you to everyone that responded and continued to respond from that rant video that I made, encouraging me to not give up on this and try to get the PS5 at launch. I do want to share some details. I want to share my experience today, and hopefully, whatever I can share and give to you, hopefully that brings something of help to you that you can use going forward as we get closer to launch on November 12th. So, here's my experience today and some of the events leading up to it. So, let's talk about it. Yesterday, Thursday, September 24th, I went to GameStop probably about 2 p.m. Eastern Time. I spoke with the manager that I normally see there. I just let her know and I asked some questions. What should I think about doing if I want to get a PlayStation 5 tomorrow on Friday? Because I seen that you emailed people that sign up for notifications. And she said, well, there isn't really much I can do for you in this certain situation. And to be honest with you guys, I never really try to use the cerebral palsy as an excuse or a detriment. But I think the one time that I could have used it is right now in sense of trying to get these consoles. But I was just honest and forthright with her, and she was honest and forthright with me, saying, if you really want to get one, we saw people lining up for Xbox Series X and S pre-orders around 6 a.m. So that kind of gave me a barometer of when I think I need to be here tomorrow for the PlayStation 5. So I went home. I contemplated it later that night. I thought about it. I didn't get much sleep. And I continued to check my phone. I checked YouTube again, and I seen, quite frankly, quite a few of you guys pumping me up and telling me, encouraging me to camp out. Because what are you going to lose? If you see enough people there, you can just go home. So, in the sense of it, you might have thought maybe you're waiting for that official PlayStation Direct pre-orders, but they never came to you when you signed all those up. And you wondered how, again, like I did in that rant, how all of these pre-orders went astray last week. And it was pretty much confirmed to me that Walmart jumped the gun. So once Walmart jumped the gun after that Sony conference, it led all the other retailers to jump the gun. And I talk about it, and you guys all said, well, I got 3 or 4 of these online. What the hell is your fucking problem? Why couldn't you get one? And they can laugh and joke and play around and all of that. And I wasn't able to do it. I got stuck in the online queue. I couldn't make it. I tried to get it in the cart. It didn't work. I had all sorts of issues trying to get it online. And quite frankly, like I said, it was a clusterfuck. So when I saw that email and when I went up to GameStop just yesterday on Thursday, September 24th, and the store manager encouraged me and she said, show up around 6 a.m. and see what happens. So, you know what? I said, screw it. I looked at all this stuff on YouTube, like I said, but everybody encouraged me. I didn't get much sleep that night. I woke up about 2:30 in the morning, and I said, fuck it. I'm going to go up to my local GameStop and be there by 4 a.m. Now, with the COVID hours and all that stuff, normally, if you're under normal circumstances, GameStop would open at 10 a.m. Now it opens at noon. So I'm going to be sitting there for 8 hours or 8 hours and 15 minutes thereabouts, hoping that I can get a PS5. Now, this is something that I never have done before. And it's not something I would normally do because, one, I'm quite hesitant getting consoles on launch because I'm afraid of, bugs and this and that. But when you think about the PS4 and the Xbox One, pretty sturdily built consoles that didn't have a lot of failures. Quite frankly, a lot different from the PS3 and 360 when you're coming from Red Ring of Death or having the solder come off the graphics card and get the orange light error on the PS3 as well. So I'm kind of thinking the PS5, in the one sense of it, even though I'm a little nervous getting the initial stock, gotta believe how thick the damn thing is. There shouldn't be a lot of hardware failures. But nonetheless, I said screw it. I go out there around 4 a.m. Now, the one thing I really liked, and I can't say this for certain on all GameStop stores, but this is something going forward. I go up there, I see that there's 3 kids already ahead of me. This is 3:45 a.m. Eastern Time. So I'm thinking, oh boy, I came here just at the right time, thinking with 4 people already, I'm pretty much guaranteed to get one. I'm not quite certain yet, but once I am, I check the door and I look and see we have 7 physical consoles on hand. First come, first serve. I'm thinking, all right, as long as I don't leave my seat and I got my spot, I'm number 4 here. I got it pretty secured. I showed up at 3:45 a.m. I got situated about 4:10 a.m. and then I got to wait till 12. You know what? I know that's a long time. I know you can sit here and say you think we're geeks and stuff like that. You could have easily done things online. Well, a lot of us have already fucking tried to do all that. And when I see all these people today that showed up there, I seen about 15, 17 people, and the rest of the 7 that was allotted to go showed up by 6 a.m. So if you didn't get there quickly, you weren't going to get one. And all these guys have already missed the first pre-order rush, so when I heard those questions and saying, are you guys just trying to take advantage of it to do another resell instance? No, not today. None of these guys are going to do that, including myself and all, which I've never done anyway and I would never do because I just want to play the consoles. We're not going to sit for 8 hours to try to resell it somewhere else, trying to play these games. So some interesting stories and some interesting groups of people that I can share with you in private sometimes if you ever want to talk about all that stuff, because it was an interesting day. But in totality, if I'm going to share some advice with you, it would be this. If you're tired of having to go through the online queue and you're not certain that you can get one, you're not certain the credit card's going to go through, you're not certain if you're going to get stuck refreshing the page only to helplessly try to check out but not be able to check out, you got to check with GameStop, and now you will actually get your email notifications, because it's not like the initial allotment when Walmart busted the nut early and screwed over all the other retailers and tried to get all that stuff to go early. And yes, I still blame Sony for all that stuff too, but Walmart initially released it, and I did get confirmation for that. But you will get your notifications now. There will be some other allotments coming to you. So if you see anything from GameStop, if you want to go ahead and try to get one, I encourage you to do one thing. The best thing that you can do when you see that, whether it be a Tuesday or a Friday night, I would imagine it'd be a Friday night within the next couple of weeks, get there by 6 a.m. If you can get there earlier, if you can get there around 4 a.m. and you're willing to sit there for 8 hours, if you got to bring a pea jar, bring some snacks, bring some water, whatever else you got to do, or if you have enough cool people there like I did, I had to go pee. I had to go to the office max, try to make sure everything else was all good around 9 a.m. before it opened at 12, and they were able to hold my spot. If you get people that can spot you there, that's cool, but just be prepared. If you get there around 4 a.m., I can guarantee you there's going to be less than 7 people there, and you will be getting a console. But what you got to do is immediately when you get there, check the door. There should be an allotment there that will be telling you how many is available. And once you know how many is available, then you know exactly what you need to do. If you get a line between 10 or 15 people and it's 20 people, you can just go right the hell home. So that automatically just lets you know everything that you need to know. So in this pre-order instance, I was able to take care of a few things because they said that you can get the console, and this is physical consoles only. And as I mentioned, a lot of these physical consoles, compared to the digital, they're being made from about 4 to 1. So there's going to be a lot more physical consoles available to you. And I know Sony charges it $100 more for a physical console. I wouldn't be surprised if the disc drive was more than $30, but it's a way for them to make profit off of that rather than just the straight profit from the digital consoles, because the only thing you're doing at that point is downloading the games from Sony's store. So they're getting all of that rather than just getting retailers getting a cut off of disc. But I would suggest getting a physical console anyway, because you don't really want half a console. We talked about this before. Whether if I don't have a disc drive, I can't play the game. Or I wanted to watch a movie, I don't have a disc drive, I'm fucked. It's kind of one of those things. You don't want half a machine. So the extra $100 to me, whether I'm an old man curmudgeon, I still like games off discs. I still like being able to get games used however it is. I want to be able to play more and build a collection, having it in my hand and being able to sell it or do whatever I want with it. Physical console is the way to go. So, in the instance of what you can do when you're inside, you get your cards. As long as you got your number, they'll hand out cards to you probably about 15 minutes to go. We had 7 consoles available. I was the 4th, so the guys boom, 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 boom. Here's the 4th one. I got the card in hand. I walk in. I say, what do you want? You want to pre-order the console? What games do you want? You want an extra controller? Do you want headsets? Anything else like that? So, in an instance, what you want to do here is probably bring $100 cash with you, because I don't think you have to spend more than $25 to reserve the console. You can put $50 on it just to be safe. Put $50 on a console. Let's say you want to get, Demon Souls and Spider-Man Miles Morales Ultimate Edition and come with the other original Spider-Man with the 4K and the ray tracing and all of that. You can put 10 on that. You can put 10 on Demon Souls. You can put 10 on an extra controller, 50 on the console, and then whatever else with a 10 on a headset, and then you're good. You walk right out the door, or whatever else you want to do. And then, toward the end of it, when you get closer to that November 12th release date, what you could do if you're going to trade in your PS4 is go in there and get your $150 cash for the PS4 or whatever it ends up being. Trade some of your games in as well. If you have any other gift cards, you kind of use that toward the allotment of the PS5 and the games and things that you want to get. So that way, when you go in on November 12th, I wouldn't suggest going in there right at noon when it opens. Go there a little bit later. All you got to do at that point is, show your driver's license, show your receipt, go in and pick your stuff, walk out, and then pretty much go home, be happy, and, install the online software update, and you're good to go. So again, I think the best way to me to secure a console in these coming weeks is wait for that notification, or pretty much, every Friday or something like that. I'm going to call your GameStop and check in, see if you can get your notifications of when the next allotment is coming in. Then I would suggest you camp out probably about 4 a.m. You don't need to go any earlier than 4 a.m., but you want to be there before 6. And then when you do that, you're pretty much guaranteed only being like 3, 4, or 5 in line. And the consoles, from what I was told, is usually going to have about 7 or 8 allotments, but that might change as we get through the future weeks up to the November 12th release date. So check in with those guys, and then if you get there, check that sign on the door to tell you how many is there so you can judge if you need to go home or if you're going to wait those 8 hours. But if you do, make sure you dress warm, because we're getting close to we're already in fall here. We're getting close to October. It's going to get cold, so dress warm. Bring a blanket, bring a chair for you to sit on. You got either a pea jar or something to drink, something to eat. Get yourself prepared and all that. Because if you got a chance to sit there and get it, and you're not going to be there, you're pretty much guaranteeing yourself a console on that date. Now, the one thing I want to say too, as we get further and further from those GameStop things, and I know that Walmart and Best Buy and Target and everything else will have more allotments, but as we get closer to that date, on November 12th, what you want to make sure of is check again, will you get the console on launch date? Because I believe as we get closer and closer, and then you're trying to secure a console, you might end up getting your stock after the November 12th release date. I was guaranteed a November 12th release date because this is only the second allotment, but if you're trying to go for a third or fourth or fifth and you hadn't gotten one yet, chances are you might not get the console until, sometime at the start of December. So just be prepared for everything else that you're going to do. But in my humble, honest opinion, if you can get there and get there early, even if you got to take a half day from work or say that you're going to be in there later, camp out, because I think you'll be able to do it. And it was pretty much a painless process. Hell, I had a cop behind me around the local jurisdiction. I had some former GameStop employees behind me at 7 and 8. And then I had just a few teenagers and their mother looking out for them. She was even asking me if I wanted something to eat or anything like that. Everybody was cool and looking out for each other. But the one funny thing I will say to you is, don't be that guy when the stores open at noon and you show up at 11:55 a.m. expecting to get a console. You're pretty much just going to get laughed off the line here. That's not how it works. If you want to go ahead and get one, you got to be there early and be committed to it. If you really want to get one, be committed to the process and know that you're going to be at least sitting for 6 hours or 8 hours. If you commit to that process and you're all good with that, knowing that going in, you will get a PS5 from GameStop. I didn't have to deal with any digital bullshit online today. I went there, I sat there for about 8 hours and 15 minutes almost. And at the end of the day, number 4 in line out of 7 consoles, I was able to walk out with a console. I know I'm going to have that on release date, Spider-Man Miles Morales, Demon Souls, and an extra controller. And here's the thing, if you do get the extra controller, and this happened to me on the PlayStation 4 when I bought it, I got it a little after launch, but my controller from the actual box it came with was broken. The triggers didn't work correctly. So the guy told me, get an extra controller. So if the one that comes with your box has drift, it doesn't work right, you can pretty much swap those out and get a new one. And at worst, you have 2 working controllers. And I said, you know what, dude, that's a damn good fucking idea. So that's what I went ahead and did. So an extra controller, Demon Souls Remake, Spider-Man Miles Morales Ultimate Edition with the original Spider-Man, which I hadn't played yet, and the PlayStation 5 console. I do have some extra gift cards in that trade-in from GameStop to make sure to see how much all that costs. And then from the local grocery store over here, I got about 150 that I can use to get NBA 2K21. So I pretty much will have 2K, Spider-Man, and Demon Souls, pretty much the only other games I really want off the jump. I don't want to get too crazy, but those are the games I'm going to be playing, especially Demon Souls and Spider-Man. But if I get a chance to play with my friends, I do want to play 2K. Now, granted, I don't know how many of you are going to be online at launch and release day and things like that. And I get, online services for Sony and Microsoft. Not everything will go smoothly day one. I'm sure it won't. But just be careful. Going out there getting your pre-order, make sure you know what you're getting into. Make sure you know that you're going to have to probably sit there for a while, but you'll make it. And I think GameStop, in getting that sense of knowing how much it's going to be at the store, if you arrive there early, that way you can battle plan. I think that's your best way of securing a console, other than going online and trying to do all that stuff, hopelessly trying to add it to your cart when you couldn't. So I hope this was helpful to you. If you have any other questions, Facebook.com/ToBeAGunslinger, Twitter @JohnReinott. As always, have a good one, everybody. Peace out. We'll talk to you soon.